What's up, Xavier Architects? Okay, we're starting a new project, so here's a new video. Starting my new Rhino project, file new. I'm going to go into feet and inches, large objects. This is a skyscraper we're building. So we're going to go to open, and then I'm going to go to file, save as, just to make sure I'm saving this in my architectural design folder on Drive. And I'm going to go into my skyscraper folder, and we're going to call this Chia Scraper. Sounds like some weird tool to clean your chia pad or something, the Chia Scraper. Okay, so we got the Chia Scraper here. We're going to go save. And that is now in my Drive and all set up and ready to go. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to go onto my maps and find where my location is that I plan on building this monolith. And of course, Manhattan, skyscrapers, dime a dozen, they're all over the place. Brooklyn not so much, but what about a Staten Island skyscraper? I'm eyeballing this area where the ferry comes in here. You got this big Empire Outlet, this mall. Malls are dinosaurs now. They're going out of they're disappearing. There's no need for these things anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, use my screenshot capability. And I'm going to take a picture of this and kind of save it away into my my little folder there so I can use this in Rhino. And I also want to take a measurement so I can use this to build it to scale. And I can see this little junction point where the crosswalk meets with the street here, with the side of the sidewalk. I'm going to use my tools here to measure this. So let's see. Where's my distance? Clear measurement. It's from earlier. Measure distance. Okay, I'll drag that right at that little intersection point. And then I'm going to zoom out. And right to the point where that little, okay, and that's 508 feet, we'll call it, okay? So that's 508 feet. I'm going to store that away in my mind because I'm going to use that to scale my bitmap, because I want to basically know what the footprint of my skyscraper is first, because that's the foundation of my project, is the footprint that I have to build on. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go down in here in my top view and go to background bitmap, place, and I already took a couple of screenshots of the Google Maps. So I got my aerial view here, and I'm going to open that, and then it asks me to place it. So I'll click and drag, and I don't know, I'm just kind of eyeballing this. I don't know how big it's got to be yet. But then I can zoom in on this, right? And what I want to do is I want to create a polyline. Let me just go into top view so it's easier to see here. I got more area to work. And I'm going to grab a polyline and just start tracing the outline of my skyscraper footprint. And I'm just going to kind of round the corner here. This is just going to be a guide of how big this can be. So go all the way to here, and then this is a street here with some shops and things. So okay, so that's roughly my footprint that I have for my skyscraper. Okay, now the problem is that that's not to scale, and we want to build our skyscraper to scale. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a second polyline, and I'm going to start here at this corner and go out along this line to 508 feet. And I'm going to click. So that line there is 508 feet. That's how long, that's kind of my reference line, right? I need my polyline shape to match that, right? And so that we can use our scale tool to make our footprint bigger. So I'm going to use the scale tool. Scale. There we go. And remember, it asks you for a couple of reference points. So I'm going to go to my first reference point here and click, and then to my second reference point here and click, and then I'm dragging out to the end of that line and clicking. And that increases the footprint of my building or my skyscraper to the right size for me to build. And you say, well, what about the bitmap now? And I can just go in here and go to background bitmap, remove. And now I've got my footprint, my outline in a polyline of my skyscraper where it's got to be, and it's to scale. Okay, so that's the way to start off your skyscraper project if you're wondering, because we want the tower to be to scale and we want it to fit right within the parameters of the area that you took your aerial view and where you plan on actually putting this in the city. You know, some things about this project are obviously unrealistic, but we're trying to keep it, you know, at least in some ways, true to what you would have to do if you were actually going to be planning to put a skyscraper on this site. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm going to do File Save and save that Chia Scraper updated file, and you're good to go. Have fun.